Oh, hey, look, it's Predator Watch once again, involving, well, our favorite type of subject. But first and foremost, man, I want to go ahead and point out a couple of identifying triggers in this headline. So we got a Mississippi art teacher, right? Emily Swinkowski, 27, stop me if you've heard this before, is arrested for sending inappropriate pictures to a 16-year-old student, busted when another child found out. That's basically the same thing of everything that we've been covering over these past few years. I'm tired of this stuff going unaddressed, unannounced, and not taken seriously. And you know how I know it's not being taken seriously? Mostly because you have those boomer cons that are always out there going, oh, what happened? Where were those teachers when I was growing up? Completely and totally dismissing that this is assault on a minor. This still a minor, okay? Even if he was ready, willing, and able to go, he cannot consent to this activity, okay? And yeah, you know what? Not bad. Not bad. A little fucking loopy, but then at the same time, she is still a criminal. And the fact that the Daily Mail is calling her glamorous, a glamorous Mississippi arts teacher, she is a criminal, she is a crook, and they are getting roasted in the replies on this one. Is it the definition of, pedo, glamorous? When we speak of women pedos? Yeah, exactly, because we live in a gynocentric social order, and if you criticize one woman, even if she is incredibly in the wrong, take a look at Amber Heard and the fact that she still has simps out there, and the overwhelming majority, I would say about 90% of them, and then the other 10% is a bunch of male feminists who would never even come close to making any of those chicks hot or heavy at all. The only ones that might pick up might be hot because it's, just a regular room temperature, and they're going to be heavy by the sheer proximity that they can get towards them. But they're going to be drier than the Sahara. But it's a sisterhood uber Alice, and we are stuck in the middle of this shit because guess what? If this was a 27-year-old guy doing this to a 16-year-old chick, sending him the old meat salami, yeah, he would be rode out on a rail. He would be one of those guys. There was another story that was kicking around on Twitter not that long ago about a gangbanger in there, shivving up a couple of kid touchers. He would be on that guy's list. But this chick right here, he was 16. He was so charming. She'll go ahead and have one of those sob stories, and so many people are going to buy it. But at least I think the public is probably waking up to this. She's not glamorous. She's the pedo. Glamorous is quite possibly the last descriptor that could possibly ever apply to this headline. But yeah, man, a lot of people and a bunch of stupid stuff. Glamorous, more like, MJF, bitch. Exactly, man. And as the Hanford Institute, I don't know what that is specifically, but you are literally glamorizing pedos, 1000%. But let's get into the story on this one. See how degenerate this actually is. Glamorous, and they repeat it. I think they know exactly what they're doing on this one. Mississippi high school arts teacher has been arrested after she was accused of sending inappropriate pictures to a 16-year-old student. Emily Swinkowski, 27, faces charges of incitement of a child and child exploitation in connection with the incident, the latest case of alleged inappropriate teacher behavior relations across the United States. Yes, I can remember, at least off the top of my head, 3 other instances that I have specifically covered, and I've probably seen the news reports of several other ones throughout this year, but here's another one. While working at Water Valley High School, she was arrested after she allegedly sent the student nude photos. The different student learned about the photos and tipped off the principal, who contacted the police, according to the district attorney, Jay Hale. Swinkowski resigned and turned herself into authorities last Monday. She was freed on $50,000 bond. Yeah, okay, so 10% of that, so $5,000. And guess what? She probably ended up springing for that because she probably opened up an OnlyFans after this, because that's always the way this stuff goes, man. The easiest career path for these chicks that are out there. And there might be another story like that cooking in the background, that all of these chicks, man, with no discernible skills, traits, or copacetic mental behavior, they just go ahead and turn to sex work. It's the oldest industry for a reason, because these bitches need something to do. Oh my god, Angie had a beta provider? Yo, man, you can't make this stuff up. Tracy Walder, a former FBI special agent and CIA officer, told Law and Crime, and she's married. They're seeing more cases like these because people are getting into teaching at too young an age. Yeah, we're seeing more cases like this because people are getting into teaching at too young an age. There was a video that I released on March 9th of this year. I remember it because it was my birthday, and it's Mario. It has Mario on the front of it. I forget. Oh, right. The teacher was saying that the Mario Brothers movie or the Mario Brothers characters were coded gay in different ways, and I just ended up breaking down all the demographics of what you're getting with school teachers. An overwhelming majority, it is well lapsed into the 60, and when it comes to elementary school, it's like 80% of the instructors are female, and then still it doesn't drop off all that much until you end up hitting college, when it's only like 55% when you hit college. But even in high school, you're starting to see teachers be female at like a 75% clip. The only thing that's still male dominated is like the principal roles and the administration side of things, because, well, you know, if you need to do anything and get it done in a timely fashion, you don't need, you know, legal hurdles like this, well, you hire a guy. I do wonder if part of this is the excitement of having, you're trying to explain away a crime, man, of having that kind of power over an individual, which is pretty gross. Yeah, exactly. Or it's these chicks that are constantly, well, first of all, when you're a teacher, okay, you go from being inside the classroom to learning how to instruct inside of a classroom. You never really grow up. Your surroundings don't really change all that much, so your mental development doesn't really take any steps forward. You don't really do any other jobs outside of just this cyclical life pattern of going from being in front of the desk to behind the desk to, well, in her cases, kneeling underneath the desk. But what do you do about this stuff? Because, okay, you got Jessica Lawson, a 36, an Arizona native, taught at South Fremont High School from 2021 until 2023. On November 6th, the teenage boy, described as either 16 or 17 years old, faced a traffic stop for having a car with no visible taillights. Authorities discovered that the car belonged to Lawson, whom the boy said allowed him to drive because she was too drunk. Court documents say the boy admitted to having marijuana on him at the time. Yo, what the hell? Police drove the underage boy home that night, and the next morning his parents provided authorities with details. The parents claimed Lawson picked up the teen at 11 p.m. on November 6th, then drove him to her house in St. Anthony, Idaho. Once there, she and the teenager got it on after getting drunk. Oh, okay, cool, with an underage boy. Yeah, weird. Almost like women like danger. Women like to explore the taboos. And what's more taboo than breaking the law? Creeps. Once there, she and the teenager had... I already read that. Lawson, according to the boy's mother, admitted to some of the allegations as she copped to picking him up in front of his home and taking him to her house, where she gave him applied him with booze. Contributing to the delinquency of a minor, that would also be the charge on top of SA. Because that's what that is. However, as she both denied anything else had occurred. Yeah, of course, man. You go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off at the pass. But yo, man, what the hell? What the hell, man? You got a chick here who's all married and all that stuff. But these chicks, man, these chicks will get ran through in high school. Or, I'm sorry, not high school. Well, probably high school. But then also university as well. And then the first beta white knight that just, rides on his white steed across the horizon, comes across and, I'll save you. I'll go ahead and forgive your past on that one. Just be the good placeholder boyfriend. Hell, this even harkens back to one of the first stories of the year. One of my favorite. Officer Megan Good. Good for the entire vicinity of the precinct, who was out there just banging every single person on the police force, being a drunk at the parties, just being as lecherous can get. She also had a strictly religious husband or something like that. I'm going to stand by my princess for as long as I can. And then she had this big old sob story. Oh, I was being controlled by religion, and I was being abused by the boss. She had every single excuse in the book except for taking responsibility for herself. But that's another problem that we have with these chicks out here. They get these placeholder husbands that are just good enough. You can kind of provide, and I can just go be a delinquent elsewhere. He probably is also on several occasions held the video camera or held her hand or fixed the snack tray for the events that would take place later in the evening. Like, let's keep it a stack. He probably knows that she's a hoe. Or he's so stupid and he wifed her up without knowing any of that stuff. And that's why these chicks chicks continue to do this type of stuff because they know that the repercussions, yeah, if there are any, it's going to be like ankle high, and they can go ahead and they can do whatever they want, and they can always fall back on opening up an OnlyFans, going into some sort of a sex industry, because they always have that safety net that's right there. Hell, you've already been publicized as a sex worker by the media. You might as well just go ahead and go whole hog on that one. You can just open yourself up, not literally unless you want to the rest of the online world, where you can go ahead and find a whole bunch of other sympathetic simp beta bitch white knights. It's atrocious behavior. Where does it stop? How do we fix it? Well, I got a couple of ideas, but you know, Thanos couldn't quite exact his plan, so how do I think that I'd be able to carry it out? But you got to just keep these bitches in check, man, and I don't know, look after your own kin and kind. That's about the only thing that I can do. And plus, get your kids out of public school so you don't send them to class with sex offenders. Yo. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.